All right. So we are a little late because technical difficulties were savage tonight. Okay, now it looks like it's online. Good. We will see how long it persists in being online. But I changed a little bit of the technology today, and we moved things around the studio. And so it apparently boggled OBS's mind, and OBS refused to cooperate. But here we are. Nonetheless, we're going to do some Zendikar drafts. So I've been really enjoying this format. Zendikar has been absolutely delightful thus far, and I look forward to putting a party together tonight. We're going to play a traditional draft here off of one of our token entries, but I imagine in the future we'll be using gems as well, because this format is stupendous. And so we're hopping into the queue to draft it. Going in, I don't really have too many expectations. The cards are still pretty fresh for me. I haven't done much studying or preparation beforehand. I did 2 drafts prior to this one. One of them, I ended up in a white-blacks clerics deck, which was fine, went 2-1 in traditional draft, and then I drafted a basically mono-blue, splashing a couple black removal spells wizards deck, which went 2-1, and really should have gone 3-0, but the last game was pretty unfortunate. The last game I had to mold a 5 one game because I just didn't draw any lands, and then the other game, I think we lost game 3 on the play to like an absolutely freaking broken over the moon Boros start. Like they went, turn 1, the rare white 1-drop that like has power equal to 1 plus the number of creatures in your party. And then they went into like Kargan Intimidator. Like they had a bonkers Boros draw, which was just heartbreaking. This card is phenomenal. I really like this guy. The +1/+1 counter seems like a great place to be. So this is an excellent baseline. Super happy to take this regardless. Let's look at the rest of the cards though. Creatures get +2/+2. Not that interested. Lol Mage's Domination is an absolute beating. This card is filth. It may contest the Luminarch Aspirant here. The question is, do we want a solid threat of our own, or do we want a card that will occasionally blow the game wide open, but is often mediocre? And I'm not sure what the answer is to that question. Oh, do we want to be in blue? I don't know enough about the format yet to have a strong opinion either way here. If we pass this Lol Mage's Domination, or the person we're passing to is almost assuredly in blue, which discourages us from being in blue, because in pack 2, they will filter our good blue cards, but it doesn't matter too much. What matters more is usually finding who's passing to you pack 1. I guess we're taking the Aspirant. That could be entirely wrong. The Lol Mages might be a windmill slam there, but I'm not sure. Crawling Barrens also seems like a very solid card insofar as it is a land that doubles as a creature, but let's see what else we got. Chimera Takedown. The number of creatures you control to target creature, Planeswalker. That's not bad. Shatterskull Minotaur. This card has come down and just clocked me in the noggin a couple times this format already. I don't like it. I don't like being on the receiving end. I got the Banneret. Let's look for common removal here. We got a Subtle Strike, which isn't that great. Chilling Trap, which was phenomenal in my mono Wizards deck, but is probably bad elsewhere. We might just be... Ooh, wait a minute, though. The Royal Eruption is a good one. We got a Boros aggro deck here. That's why you look through the whole pack, ladies and gentlemen. I want that Crawling Barrens, but we're definitely erupting into the Royal. As this is just a phenomenally flexible card. It kills, it thrills, it does everything you like to see. So we're taking that one. Songbird Treachery is hilarious, but is not the card we're taking, almost assuredly. Instead, we're pretty highly incentivized right now to focus on Boros aggro. So the Akum Hellhound isn't bad. It's a terrible top deck, which makes it a little less good than some other cards. 4 damage to target creature and X to that creature. Okay, that's pretty mediocre. It's like super slow. It is instant speed, which isn't nothing. Fissure Wizard, not great. Not exactly what I want to be playing in this format. Pressure Point is interesting, but no. Core Celebrant seems super mediocre outside the life gain deck. So this is essentially a pick between the Hellhound, which probably is the pick, and the Synchronized Spellcraft. I think we want the Hellhound to get on the board hot and heavy, though. Like a turn 1 Hellhound is a beating. So I think that's where we're going here. Oh, the Jerboa! We got the mouse! Mouse in the house! All right, so Jerry here looking diminutive, but lo and behold, this mouse actually packs a ferocious punch. This guy's going to pump the whole squad. That seems to be exactly where we want to be in Boros. Not too many big competing things here. I don't see any bonkers cards here. Cleansing Wildfire doesn't seem to be the way to do it. It does allow you to get another landfall trigger, but not at instant speed. So it would just be like hitting for an extra 2 with the Hellhound, which is mediocre. Very mediocre. So I think we're very happy to just take a Jerboa here. Ooh, interesting. Okay, so Electromancer, not super interested in. Tuk Tuk Rubblefort is hilarious, but not what we want either. The Prowling Felidar versus the Archon of Emeria. So Archon of Emeria is basically just a 2/3 flyer. The rest of the text doesn't matter. So a 2/3 flyer for 3 versus a 2/3 Vigilance that grows every time you play a land. I think the 2/3 Vigilance that grows when you play lands is a little bit better. This card has been pretty impressive, but it's better in the green-white tokens deck than it would be in Boros aggro. Maybe a 2/3 flyer. It doesn't have a relevant creature type, which is a pity. We're rarely going to get punished by the players can't cast more than 1 spell per turn. I think a 2/3 flyer is better in this situation, but it's pretty close. Again, I reserve the right to be wrong. Tazim Raptor. 3-mana burb that gets us a land back in our hand. That seems like what we want to be doing, right? Like we want our Jerboa triggers. We want our Hellhound to be yapping. So we're going to bop off this Raptor. Looks like green-black might be a little open here, which is making me sad. Practice Tactics. I've been kind of impressed with this card. I was worried that you'd get blown out with it pretty often, but it seems to be actually a pretty reasonable thing. The main trouble here is, do we even have party members? At the moment, we have a lot of creatures, but no people with jabs. You know, we don't have the jabs to make Practice Tactics good. But that doesn't mean we won't find the people with jobs. You know what I'm saying? Basic land reveal, put your hand, shuffle your library. So it's kicked, search your library. 2, no thank you. That's not what we're in for. Maybe this Expedition Champion is fine. The Champion's probably not making our deck, but I think it's better than otherwise. Oh, Fat Links. Yes, the thickest links available, please. Scavenged Blade seems awesome. This card has been a whopping every time it's been cast against me in Boros aggro decks that really just slap this on warriors and get cleaving. The Fat Lynx just makes me so happy. Look at this big bumbling buffoon. You know, he's like, I was a steppe lynx in my youth, but now, oh, how the times have changed. This is Steppe Lynx after he's been married 20 years. He started really putting on the pounds, so to speak. Best art in the set, Inordinate Rage. That mouse isn't going to get away with that gummy, I suspect. I think that Minotaur is going to have his vengeance. As for the pick, Disenchant is a fine sideboard card. We're playing traditional draft because we are not fools. We're not simpletons. So, wow. Disenchant in the sideboard, where it belongs. Seagate Banneret might not be a terrible one. It's a warrior to synergize with the champion, among other things. It has a relevant ability in the late game, and it's a 1-drop party member that gets us on the board. Probably sided out in certain matchups, but it's definitely fine to start in the deck. We're probably not playing any of these cards. Maybe we want to hedge towards... do we play blue? The hedge would probably be towards green if we open a broken green rare in pack 2 or 3. But right now we got the good foundations of a Boros deck, so I think this is unlikely to be played. This is fine, Cleric, in case we end up with a lot more Party Matters cards. Also, the Luminarch Aspirant incentivizes us to pick up 1-drops here. Got to build around that Aspirant. We aspire to greatness. Ardent Electromancer, sure, right? Like it's a card, certainly. The Mucklord! We got the rule draws Mucklord. Exactly what you want to see. Angel of Destiny. All right. The stove top is lit. Whatever creature you control deals combat to your player, you and that player each gain that much life. At the beginning of your end step, if you have at least 15 life more than your starting life total. Wait a minute. So my creatures heal both myself and my opponent? That seems like a terrible decision. That seems horrible. I have to start going the other direction after I've gotten them low? Whenever creature controls just combat to play. No. That can't be the pick. It has to be the... Or the Vanguard. Oh man, I spent so long reading this card trying to figure out what it does that I've squandered a lot of time here. This is actually a massive body though, which makes it a bit of a pity. And it's a mythic rare. Usually don't like rare drafting. We're going to take the Angel of Destiny because how many times in your life do you get to draft one? But I think it's the wrong pick. I think the Jerboa or the Warrior there was the correct pick. Here we've got another rare we could rare draft. I do need these rare lands, but the Royal Eruption is a really potent card. Incredibly flexible. Going to kill you small guys. Going to kill you big guys. Oh, lock up your windows, board up your wife. The Royal Eruption's coming for everybody. Another fat Lynx. Daddy Lynx. Sizzling Barrage, sure. Scorch Rider. Scorch Riders have actually been hitting me in the face, but I think for now we're just erupting once more. All right, what else we got? What you got? Sneaking Guide, who is not Goblin Guide, who will never be Goblin Guide, but it's fine. Legion Angel is very interesting. So Legion Angel might actually have some play here. Like a 4/3 for 4 isn't too mediocre, all things told. Like that's a pretty solid card. It's also a rare, but yeah, we're not going. The second text on it isn't going to be relevant, but I think a 4-mana 4/3 is sufficient. We're taking it over a Teeter Peak Ambusher, and yeah, that's like the only other playable card here for our deck. So it's easy pick over the Teeter Peak Ambusher is this Legion Angel. We're going for Angel Tribal, if you couldn't tell. Oh, we got the Relic Robber! Yes! This card might be horrible, but it is hilarious. Man, we're just loading up on the rares and mythics. Although the Ox is the boss. Look at this, man. Whatever land, ETBs, tap target creature. Oh, look at the Ox. That Ox has a Zen like you wouldn't believe. He's ready. He's ready to rumble. But we're definitely taking the Relic Robber. More rage. No rage here. We're quite content with how our deck is shaping up thus far. Okay, so here we do need more low drops. So I don't think we're too tempted by this Raptor. Oh, look at this cunning geyser mage. Look at that lizard. Sketch! Sketch the lizard running through the geyser field. Fissure Wizard, nope. Not super interested. Molten Blast is a fine card, but not one we're super interested in. Spitfire Lagak. I think here we do take the Teeter Peak Ambusher. It's a card that's kind of mediocre, but we need 2 drops if we're going to be an aggressive deck. We definitely need to pad out that slot. I think it's better than the Fissure Wizard on average over a sample size of X games. All right, so here we get to leverage the power of the Sajiri Shelter. We're kind of getting paid off for being the only person in white, I suspect. The only person committed to white, because this Sajiri Shelter is pretty potent. Target creature you control gains protection from the color of your choice until end of turn. And it's a land, so it's basically a free roll. Sajiri Shelter is very nice. I think we definitely take that over the bird is probably the next best in this pack for us, so happy to pick up the Shelter. We're going to drag it over and pretend it's a land for our purposes. Nobody taking this Brushfire Elemental. Goodness gracious. He's here, he's signed, sealed, delivered, and nobody wanted the fellow. That's why he's so angry. That's why the lava is just spilling out of him. But we do need to focus on cards we actually want to take. The Kabira Outrider isn't heinous. The Expedition Champion might be the better pick, but we need a little more. We need 4 drops a little more badly than we need more 3 drops. Our 3-drop slot is pretty delicious at this point. All right, Tormenting Voice, Sizzling Barrage, Fissure Wizard, and the Bird. Do we give him the bird, flip him the bird, as it were? That blocked this turn. That's just so mediocre. I guess we take the bird, but we might not play it. I just really don't want the Fissure Wizard. I feel like that card is a big liability. Oh, we wield the Jerboa and the Vanguard. Are you kidding me? A whole table looked at this mouse. They looked into his beady little eyes and they didn't want him. Oh my gosh. Just give me all of these cards. We're in the open colors for sure. Jerboa or Vanguard? Oh my god. We take the Vanguard there, but... Oh, Papa. Papa ordered his Vanguards. One on the left, one on the right. Got vanguards on the left, vanguards on the right, and nobody can block in town. Wow, we also wield the Teeter Peak Ambusher that we skipped. So we now have more than enough 2-drops, so we actually get to be a little more selective with our 2-drops. I think we're just going to bop that right into the sideboard. Oh, no interest in that guy. Oh, we get the Ox, too. The Ox is our mascot. He's not going in the main deck, but he is definitely there. Nobody's playing Boros. What a world. All right, we get the Lagak. Nobody, not a single human being believes. All right. Oh, we even get the Boros land. Happy day. We might not be taking it, though. We have Allied Assault, Practice Tactics, Mind Carver. I'm not seeing any premium removal. I think we are just taking our Boros land as it was meant to be. The needles have converged, and here we are. I actually don't like Boros. It's probably one of my least favorite color combos to draft, but when life gives you red-white beatdown, you take them to church. Yeah, I think it's just the land. I don't think there's anything else in this pack that would be reasonable to take. Now we got, Thwart the Grave. This card just has such gorgeous art. It's just absolutely majestic. Grotag Night Runner is less good, I think, than it seems, but it's not competing against too much. Spikefield Hazard is a really interesting one. There's a lot of 1-toughness creatures in this format that are consequential. I don't think we're in for a Grotag Night Runner. I don't think that's where I want to be. I think the Spikefield Hazard is actually perfectly fine here. Perfectly fine indeed. The Pack Beast also isn't a non-zero consideration, but we don't have too many party payoffs. The Expedition Champion, also perhaps a reasonable pick, but I like getting a little more removal because we are very removal light. Getting the Hellhound here is pretty sexy, right? Like, this just means we're going to be bopping for 2 on turn 2 pretty often. So double Hellhound is nice. It increases the value of these raptors, which let us pick up more lands. Also nice. Wow, Deadly Alliance, pick 3. This must have been a stacked pack. I'd love to get this Deadly Alliance, but too late. Too little too late, as it were. And Hellhound's happy. Hellhound is good news, too. Shepherd of Heroes. Not unreasonable. Shepherd of Heroes pales well with our Angel tribe here, our Legion Angel and Angel of Destiny, so we could round out the Angel platoon. That might be every Angel in the set. Is there a third? Or sorry, a fourth? Fourth Angel? I don't know. Oh, so this is a very reasonable pick. Pads our life total, helps our Angel of Destiny win con, but also is just a 3-4 beater in the sky for 5, helps us when we flood out a little bit. Nothing else in this pack that's super tempting. The Bug Catcher is fine, but again, we have a critical mass of 2-drops at this point, so I'm not feeling too worried about that. This might be a decent sideboard card against certain color combinations. The Cliffhaven Kitesail would be more tempting if we didn't have these 2 Hellhounds, which, you know, effectively this doesn't help them attack. So once I run out of lands, it wouldn't do much. The Kitesail does help other cards get in, but we have plenty of ways to leverage our strength on the attack. So I don't know if we need a Kitesail. It might be desperate. Kitesail might be a better sideboard card, actually, than Smite the Monstrous. I'm going to take the Kitesail out of a sort of morbid curiosity and see what happens. It might come in if we have a matchup where we can't attack into them very reliably. Allied Assault is a really great trick here. It sometimes will allow us to punch through with 2 creatures to win 2 combats. And if this card wins you 2 combats, it is just absolutely firing on all cylinders. Like if we go Banneret, Vanguard, turn 3, use this, kill their 2-drop and their 3-drop. That's just outstanding. So definitely taking that Allied Assault. And we're going to need to trim our 3-drops here. Here we get a Prowling Felidar offered up. The Prowling Felidar is not an insubstantial pick. He's running away with that poor lizard's claw. He tore it right off. And is he prowling into our deck? I'm not sure. Oh, I guess he is. I think he's much better than the Spitfire Lagak, actually. So I think Lagak out, Felidar in. More likely than not. Attended Healer. Gain life, create a 1/1 cat. Nobody's in the lifelink deck either. This is kind of a wild draft. This card seems very good. This card seems quite good. So I'm definitely bopping it into our deck, which ended up having a life gain sub-theme that I did not anticipate. Practice Tactics might be a decent card here. It's a little problematic. And that, again, we have a lot of creatures which don't have character classes, but we have enough that do that I think Practice Tactics is superior to second Allied Assault. Allied Assault definitely gets worse in multiples, like most combat tricks. Expedition Healer, but we won't play it. We won't play it, so I'll just take the Thwart the Grave because the art is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Another mascot, 2 Oxes on the sideline. How could we lose? How could we lose? Numerous ways. I'm sure we're going to find out in short order. We even get the Smite the Monstrous for that sideboard slot. You know, nobody, not a single man today wanted to pick white cards, and I respect them for that, you know. I respect that. People who know that white's not all it is cracked up to be. All right. So here we can ditch. Oh, wait a minute. How many lands can we ditch? So building this deck, we have this guy, and then one more. We have the Sagiri Shelter. So we can ditch 2 lands easy. We go down to 14, 15, 16, 17 lands, 3 of which are spells, which feels pretty awesome. That means we're going to very consistently be able to play our cards, and that's all you can really ask for. Now, the next question is we have to trim 3 cards. So I think all of our 1-drops are good to go. They're there to stay. We are an aggressive deck, and so I think this Seagate Banneret is fine. Maybe we run up against an opponent where we decide to take the gas down a little bit, side out the Seagate Banneret, put in something else, but I think for now it's fine. Expedition Healer is very mediocre. I think that's a replaceable card. Our Aspirants and Vanguards are phenomenal. Our Royal Eruption is phenomenal. Scavenge Blade. This is a weak card. Do we have a better 2-drop is the question. So we have another Teeter Peak Ambusher. We have 4 Expedition Healers. Our Expedition will not be ill. We will not die of cholera on this long march towards victory. But Teeter Peak Ambusher is probably fine for now. I think 6 2-drops is a reasonable place to be as an aggressive deck. So we'll stay there. I think Teeter Peak Ambusher has a little more equity than the Expedition Healer, but it is close. Actually, maybe not because we have the life gain sub-theme. So like Healer, actually, I think because we have the life gain sub-theme, Healer probably is in fact better than the others. Okay. Allied Assault is good. Archon of Emeria might not be where we want to be. It is a 2/3 flyer, which is a pretty good bopper, all things told. It carries a Scavenged Blade very well. The Electromancer can probably bite the dust here. Like the dream for the Electromancer, well, the thing about the Electrodancer is that it kind of blows out the opponent if we go like turn 3 Electromancer, cast Royal Eruption off of the bonus mana. That's pretty good. Or turn 3 Electromancer, cast Scavenged Blade. That's pretty excellent. This card struggles because it only gives you the red mana. So if I want to cast a white card with it, it is more difficult. But maybe it's worth trying for the explosiveness it has. I think the Expedition Champion probably bites the dust here because it has the least power. If there's not a warrior on the table, it's a really bad card. So it's a liability in that sense. Then we have our 4-drops here. I think the Shepherd of Healers might be too slow. This card might not be where we want to be. I mean, Angel of Destiny might not be a good card either. This is totally experimental, kind of walking through the dark, hands held in front of me when it comes to this Angel of Destiny. But I trust this Angel of Destiny will lead us home, lead us to glory. All right. So one more cut. Perhaps the Prowling Felidar. We don't have a lot of way to keep restocking. It's either Prowling Felidar or the Shepherd of Heroes. Kabira Outrider. Or maybe it's the Kabira Outrider. The Kabira Outrider is the worst card in isolation, but I have been impressed with it in practice. I think the Outrider maybe goes. It's a really tough one. No, we do want a critical mass of party units because we get Practice Tactics. I think Prowling Felidar goes. We just don't quite have the fuel. Like a 3/4 on turn 5 really isn't where our aggressive deck wants to be, right? And we're not ramping at all. So I think this seems pretty solid. And we're going to switch, of course, to our Nahiri sleeves because we are getting aggressive and we want our opponent to know exactly how we feel about them and their prospects. So into the queue. Let's do it. Let us go then, you and I. When the evening is late at the sky. Well, Arena cards curl too. Opponent asking the real questions. Opponent voicing why I no longer buy foils. This hand seems like a hand. We keep, but I don't like it. It's kind of mediocre. Ooh, Blight Blade, sure. Got it. Drawing a land, of course, is not where we want to be, so I hope very soon we draw something else. Something entirely different than a land. Oh, so this kind of sucks. I think here we're cracking in with the Hellhound because use it or lose it. If they want to trade it for the Blight Blade, that's fine. It's a 1-for-1. All right, and here we can deploy our Vanguard. I'm going to save this Royal Eruption for a more valuable target, but this is a very poor start on our part as we're on the draw, and opponent has a pretty good opener themselves. Opponent on 3 colors, Jund. Hey, I just started playing Magic, and I thought it would be fun to watch people play. Oh, well, welcome aboard, Frisky Dogs. If you have any questions, I would be more than happy to help you out. I'm a bit of a veteran, but okay. So here, we need our Royal Eruption to deal with the Marasa Brute. Argoma Fod Vanguard. Less than or equal to the number. Okay, so we can turn off their Blight Blade's ability to block. I don't know if that's worth it, though, trading their Dauntless Survivor for my Vanguard. We're playing this land regardless. We've already drawn more lands than we wanted to see in the entire game, which is quite unfortunate. We're definitely Royal Erupting the Brute, because otherwise we can't attack. And do I want to trade the Vanguard? I don't think so. I think for now I'm happy to just take another 2 damage, but it's going to be rough. Your cousin is a pro, like an actual pro, like Luis Scott Vargas playing on the Pro Tour pro? Or do you mean he's just a really good guy, like just excellent card shark, winning his local Friday Night Magic? And yeah, welcome to Magic, Frisky Dog. It is a good game for frisky people, it is. Quite a bit of fun. Although here, in this game, we have a lot of lands and not a lot of action, so we don't have too many decisions to make, unfortunately. Opponent considering what they want to remove, perhaps. Maybe they're going to pick a fight. Valakut Exploration, what does this do? This set is new, so I don't know what most of these rares and mythics actually do. Landfall. Exile the top card of your library. You may play it as long as it remains exiled. At the beginning of your end step, if there are cards exiled, put them into their owner's graveyard. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. So it's going to start hitting me for 1 and drawing them a card. That is extremely unfortunate. Go, Plains, go. All right, well, I think we don't have too much time to be cute anymore. I think we're definitely bringing the squad. And we're going to tell their Blight Blade it cannot block. They're certainly, yep, trading this Dauntless Survivor. But I think we just need to apply as much pressure as possible. I don't know exactly, but I think he's very good. He goes on Pro Tour, and if you know the guy Tom Ross, he beat him before. Interesting. I do not know a Tom Ross, but I do have Google. Tom Ross MTG. Ah, I see. Oh, yeah, he's been playing since the very beginning. Oh, 5 Grand Prix top 8s, 1 Pro Tour top 8. That's legit. That's the real deal. Right there for sure. All right. We did finally draw a card that does something, but hopefully it's not too little too late. So we get to keep attacking with our Hellhounds. We're going to use the Shijiru Shelter because these Hellhounds are all we have. We don't really have anything left to us, so we just have to protect them with all we're worth. We're going to give it protection from green, get rid of their Death Toucher, and we just have to pray that these hounds are going to nip their way to victory. Okay, opponent on nothing. Oh, we draw the Relic Robber. Okay. Okay, don't blink and you'll miss it. All right. Do we get in for 6 here? Yes, we get in for 6. And opponent now has the Relic, which is going to start eating them alive now that our Relic Robber has given them a gift, given them this beautiful cursed goblin construct. I have to feel that opponent here, they must have had a little bit of an unlucky draft because they're playing 2 Marasa Brutes, like Frisky Dogs. A 3/3 for 3, you know, this is a fine card, but this is 2020, and Magic cards are usually better than this nowadays. No text. Look, there's nothing on this card. It's just a poor brute trying to find his way in the world. It's not going to cut it. So here, opponent is dead because we get to pump up the jam and send the squad. And now it looks like we're going to game 2. Got him. So that was a really bad draw by our deck, and we were on the draw. On the draw, Frisky Dogs usually means that you are going second. It's the terminology, either on the play or on the draw. Now, our opponent here is piloting a kind of mediocre Jund deck. If they're splashing black, splashing means playing a color that is not one of your primary 2, then they're probably splashing Deadly Alliance or like a good removal spell. So they probably have some removal, but I don't think we need to sideboard too much. Our deck is very solid, and this was a really weak draw. Maybe, trying to think. They have that Valakut enchantment, but this card would be a much bigger problem for a control deck. Our deck is aggressive, so I don't mind actually if they want to spend a card and 3 mana to set up a very slow value engine. I am drafting, yes, Frisky Dogs. So this is a deck that I drafted from 3 booster packs. We have an aggressive Boros, which means white-red deck, that is looking to beat down the opponent with a mixture of critters, warriors, and some angels on the top end. Quite fortunate to get the angels. I'm excited. Oh, haven't played with these cards before, so for a lot of it, I just don't know what's good, what's bad, what's great. Oh, thank you. Appreciate the follow. Alrighty, this is another hand where it doesn't have strong cards, but it does have inexpensive, fast cards. Ooh, that is a gorgeous draw. So, the Hellhound gets to go to work. Next turn, we might just be bopping them for 4. If we get the Scavenged Blade onto this Hellhound. Yeah, F for opponent, for sure. Alright, so we're going to pop the plains. And I think we're just throwing on the Scavenged Blade. Oh, didn't mean to send that. No, it's fine, Frisky Dogs. You can F for the opponent, too. When they die, it is also sad. It also makes us sad of heart. As they've got this adorable Gnarlid colony. The sound effects in this set are phenomenal. I love all the animals. All right, I think opponent here is just going to get ran into the ground because we get to Royal Eruption them, which is pretty sexy. Put this Marasa Brute right back in the graveyard where we left it last match. Crack in, opponent on 12, and we get to deploy the Banneret. So now our paired tactics actually does something, which is good. Now, hopefully we do not draw another land. No more lands, preferably. I didn't put only 14 lands in my deck so I could draw them. All right. Daraga Visionary, going to draw the opponent a card, which, sad days. And we do draw another land. Maybe I need to start asking for the lands and they'll stop coming. Oh, so this turn we are faced with a bit of a quandary. So this is going to go up to a 4/3, but that doesn't actually help it very much. We could move the Scavenge Blade over to the Banneret. Is Liliana Walker of the Dead a good card? Because I pulled it the other day. Liliana Walker of the Dead. The new Liliana from Core Set 2021? Let me see. Liliana Walker of the Dead. Is it Walker or Waker? I think it's Waker of the Dead. Liliana is a fine card. Lily of the... Yeah, no, this Liliana is a very playable card. I don't know if it will be a professionally playable card, like a super competitive one, but yeah, it's a decent card. Very playable. Much better than Marasa Brute, to be sure. To be sure. All right, so we're going to move the blade over, making sure Auto Tapper doesn't fry us here. Because there's no benefit in having the blade on the Hellhound. It trades with their cards anyway. So we will send the squad, and we're going to practice tactics, protecting probably our Banneret. The Banneret is a little more useful now than the Hellhound, so I think we protect it instead of the Hellhound. The Hellhound will eventually run out of value when we run out of lands. seems reasonable, yeah. So we'll shoot the Gnarlid, save our Banneret, trade with their Visionary. Phew. And we're actually in a pretty bad position this match. Opponent is still on 12, which is not great. We have a really weak card in hand and only these 2 lands to our name. So it's a little bit unfortunate. I would love the opponent to tap out to play a useless enchantment again, or to do something that is not putting cards on the board. If they play a card that can block my Seagate Banneret, we may just be dead in the water, so to speak. But yeah, I really hope that new Liliana card is strong, because I love Liliana as a character. She was my first Planeswalker as well, although I had a much worse Liliana than that. All right, we can attack through this, so we do get to get in some damage this turn, which is nice. I would prefer not to have to activate my Banneret, so I'm going to attack before playing the Raptor. We'll see if they block. They do not block, which is reasonable. Bop. And then we get to deploy a 2/2 flyer. Now I feel like we're in a pretty commanding position because the opponent has to find a removal spell for the Raptor. I'm going to decline to pick up a land, I think. Or actually, we'll pick up the land. We have some Canyon Jerboas where we may want more landfall triggers, but for now we're fine. But yeah, now that I have this Raptor to carry the Scavenged Blade, things are pretty good. Opponent's got 3 cards here. They play a Veteran Adventurer, but the Veteran Adventurer doesn't help them out of this situation too much. We get to put the Blade on the Raptor, and they're on a pretty swift clock here. So we get to bop in with the bird. And I guess deploy the land. We may as well, right? We may as well. It's just about the final countdown, all things told. Oh, and they did find the removal spell, so we're down a bird. And they have this Vigilance 5/5, so now we do die pretty fast. Opponent attacking with both, which implies they have a creature in hand. Yeah, this game we needed to draw a little bit less nothing, but we will have game 3 on the play, which is the aggro model. That motto. Game 3 on the play, boys. Game 3 on the play. All right. So we do have a Vanguard here, so we're not strictly dead. We get to throw the Blade probably on the Banneret, I think, is the correct play here. Because now the Banneret blocks and trades with the Expedition, Champion, and I think we're just playing out the land with so we have the maximum ability to practice this. A long time ago, my brother opened his first pack, and it was a Jace the Mind Sculptor. Goodness gracious. Well, Jace is probably the best Planeswalker ever printed. I'm sure your brother has told you that he's an absurd card. Worth quite a lot of money. We have to chump block here, so I think we're just dead. If we draw Royal Eruption, we win. So we could draw 1 card to win here. I mean, do you believe in miracles, Frisky Dogs? Because I believe in miracles. Come on, Royal Eruption off the top. Come on. Let's see it. Okay, come on. Nope, not this time. It was 1 in 26. It wasn't very likely, but we're dead. We are dead to rights. We needed to draw a couple less lands there. We definitely flooded out both games so far. I have the right number of lands, though. I don't have too many lands in the deck. Just poor variance there. Magic is a hard thing to get into, Frisky Dogs. Like, playing the paper game is pretty tough, especially if you don't have a really good local game store to play at. Like, just getting into Arena by itself is both expensive and a little non-intuitive. The paper game is also really expensive, but if you have a good local game store, people can let you borrow decks, and you can draft with good friends who will teach you a lot, so. Oh, Magic's a great hobby, too, because it's a hobby that has a huge history. And every year we get 4 awesome new sets. I'm absolutely loving the new set. It's really phenomenal. People at Wizards don't suck. They do pretty good work, all things told. All right, game 3. Game 3 on the play. We believe. We believe that this time we will draw exactly 5 lands and no more. 0 more lands. Opponent taking their righteous time sideboarding here. They're really giving it the long think. They're like, what is it to win? What is it to lose? If I throw away my shot, Is this how they remember me? Okay, did it disconnect? Because if it disconnected, that's a bit of a problem. I really hope it didn't. I think the maximum amount of time you can wait is 1 minute and 30 seconds. So I think we disconnected. Yes, voila. All right, we're going to reboot the client. Oh, Magic, don't do this to me. Don't make me open a ticket on stream. Oh, no. What's the best paper card you have? My most expensive paper card is an Underground Sea from Revised that is worth about $400 for my commander deck. But that's not my favorite card, though. That's my most expensive card. My favorite card I have. Ooh. That's a tough one, actually. I don't know what my favorite card might be. My favorite card in Magic is Force of Will, but I don't own a paper Force of Will, tragically. I just haven't. I was going to buy one, but then, yeah, no, it's a really cool card. But now, because of the virus, I haven't gotten to play paper Magic in 7 months, 6 months, however long it's been. And so I was going to buy the Force of Will, but now it's like, well, no reason. I can't even use it. I can't even use it. All right, here we go. Wow, okay. This hand is so good if we draw another land. But if we don't, we die immediately. I guess with this hand, we could miss one land drop and still be all right. Man, this hand is so good, but we can't keep it. We can't keep it. We need 2 lands. Oh, man, this hand is pretty bad. We have to keep this one, though. Yipes. Not what you want to see. We have not drawn the right mix this game. But this hand might pan out. You never know. You never know. So we're going to throw away, I think, the Kabira Outrider. It doesn't look like we'll be in a great place to profit from it. But yeah, definitely, that's a good hand, but you need more lands, but I think you should mulligan. Yeah, I had to mulligan there, unfortunately. Well, we drew the Plains, which is pretty good, all things told. We could play the Scavenged Blade, but there's not too much purpose to it here, given it auto-equips. We want to put it on the Raptor in a hot second anyway, so we'll do this. This will be a hard one to win. Being on the play means we're down a card by default, which you don't like to see. All right, let's play our Needle Spile Verge. And I guess play the Raptor. And the Raptor is the only thing we got going for us. Decline, because next turn we want to play the Attended Healer. Just curve out here and hope it's not too late. Oh, the video is a little off. Uh-oh. Well, that's not good. Let me check. When you say the video is a little off, do you mean it's behind? So like the video is behind what I'm saying? They can hit me with a bear. I care nothing for their bear. Do they have another 3-mana 3/3 is the question. If they play the 3-mana 3/3, we probably Royal Eruption it and throw the Machete on the bird. If they don't... Oh, wow. Okay. All right. I hope this isn't too painful. Oh, it's only 1 mana. Okay, we're fine. We're fine. So a 3-mana 3/2. Oh, that the video is out of sync with the audio. Oh, that's not good. That is not good at all. Well... I will try to fix that between this and the next match. Oh, it's like that for everyone. Okay, yeah. In that case, it's fine. I think here we probably Royal Eruption. This Angel of Destiny might just win us the game immediately. This Angel of Destiny is about to be really good. But we need another white source. Oh no, what if we don't draw another white source? I guess I should have played the Needle Verge pathway as the Pillar Verge. I misplayed this two-faced land. That might actually cost me everything. It's behind, I see. All right, so here, I think we play it safe. And we zap the Electromancer and play the Blade. Frisky, I don't know if you've ever seen a hawk holding a machete in its mouth, but it's a terrifying sight. It's a terrifying sight that kills you in 5 turns. Of course, opponent's just going to kill it, but if you had no answer. Oh, yes. Good, opponent. Good. Good. Play your card that accomplishes nothing. For the time being. This card will do a lot if the game goes longer. But for the time being, not accomplishing much, which I like. All right, opponent. What's it going to be? What's it going to be? Really hoping I get another white so I can play my Angel of Destiny. Would be nice for everyone. Yeah, the Angel of Destiny is an interesting one. I don't actually know if it's that good in this deck. It seems like it would be better in a more controlling deck. Because it does heal my opponent 2 when I deal combat damage. But it is a massive 2/6 double strike flyer. So the opponent is never attacking through this. Like, I don't know. They might not have a single card in their deck that can attack through the Angel of Destiny. Like, maybe that 5/5 is their biggest creature. In which case, Angel just stops them. All right, opponent having a long think. Just really leaning back. Oh, leaning back. All right, sure. Interesting they did that now and that they did not do that a little bit later. Very sad here we don't get white mana. We drew another red, but that's fine. All right, go get him. Still a pretty fast clock for the opponent. Gonna make an MTG arena file, so maybe I can play with you sometime. Yeah, Frisky, I would play a game with you. I would have to find like a good good beginner's deck, but yeah, we could play a match. Yeah, if you want to play a match, I could give you some comments on your play. Magic is a pretty complex game. That's the beautiful thing, is that there's always so much to learn and improve. So it's a good hobby for that reason. All right, here, not too much reason to play this other mountain. We have a couple landfall cards that give us bonuses when we play a land. So I'm going to keep the land, not play it out. No particular reason to. All right, there's the Blight Blade, which I don't like. Ooh, opponent drawing a card here, but it's a land, so that's fine. That's fine. It will go away. Oh no, do they have a removal spell here? Do they have a fight spell? All right. They're getting in there. Ow. All right, card goes away. We lose a life. Cousin taught you how to use a combo deck. That's fun. Do you know which combo? Because yeah, combo decks are a good time. The question here is, do we play the Expedition Healer? Or do we play the paired tactics to save our attended healer? We probably save the attended healer, I suspect. Is the better move. Man, not playing this as a white land might cost us the game. That might be how we lose here, which would be really sad. Really unfortunate. But yeah, here I think we have to just attack. I think we have to attack here and use the practice tactics to kill this Blight Blade. If they have a removal spell, it's going to be really tough on me. But what is man to do against such reckless nonsense? Oh, don't remove it. Don't do it, opponent. Don't do it. Oh, no! Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's not the worst possible thing. That's not the end of the world, but it's pretty bad. Could have been worse. Oh, the Visionary. No! 3/2 draw card. You hate to see it. All right. White land. Awesome. Awesome. Angel of Destiny has arrived. Hopefully they don't have a way to deal with it. Humorously enough, the Tajuru Blight Blade plus the Kalmi Ambush actually would have dealt with it. So you're going to leave, but I'd love to join your stream some other times. Yeah, Frisky Dog, I'll see you around, man. Take care. Take care. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. All right, opponent thinking long and hard. Hopefully opponent is looking through their deck and they're thinking, oh man, oh no, this Angel of Destiny. There's literally no way I can stop it. Hopefully our broken Mythic just wins the game on the spot. Alrighty. So we can put Healer Raptor into play. That's pretty sexy. Yeah, I think Healer Raptor is a fine play here. Now, one question is we could play the Healer, throw the Scavenged Blade on it. That might not be unreasonable. But we probably just go to Zeem Raptor here. That's probably the play. Take back our double face lands so we can finally rectify our mistake. Probably holding back here and not attacking, I think, is the play. Because this would heal both of us, which I'm not sure that's what I want right now. Sure, they can have the Brute. Doesn't particularly matter. This does mean they'll get through their deck much, much faster than I. Ba-da-da-da-da. We will find the pathway. The path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by Marasa brutes and veteran adventurers. It's also possible I was supposed to put the Scavenged Blade onto the Angel of Destiny to protect it from pump spells, right? Like if I block this veteran adventurer and they pump, it'd be pretty unlucky. All right, opponent, really having to think here. Really putting in the work. They send the veteran adventurer. Deal. I didn't play this card to not block. I'm not a coward. Cowards can't block warriors, you know? All right. Bop, bop. And hopefully they can't kill the Angel of Destiny. They might be able to here, which probably ends the game for us. Yeah, there's the Royal Eruption. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. There it is. But the bird might bring us home here. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. The bird. Somebody stop the bird. Oh, it's going all the way, ladies and gentlemen. It's going all the way home. Wait a minute. Come on, bird. We have the Sajiri Shelter Scavenge Machete combo. Come on, Papa Bird. I believe. I believe in love. I believe in love. Come on, bird. Opponent, you've got nothing. You've got 0 cards that can touch my bird. That's right. That's right. And that's how we do it. Celebrate good times. Come on. I don't know if that cawing is too loud in the mic, but I don't care. We did what we came here to do. We hit him with the bird, and now we're going on to game number 2. Woo, we did it. Yeah, we did it. Gosh, doing what needed to be done. Doing God's work. Yes, voila. All right. Bad man. Riddle me this, bad man. What? Oh, I go first. That's an easy riddle. What is the Hellhound's favorite color? What is your quest? So I imagine this Hellhound is probably going to do like 4 or 6 damage, but the trouble with this hand is it doesn't really go anywhere. We really need to draw into some gas. That said, I think this hand is a keep because if I mold into this hand again and bottom to plains, like, this is a fine hand. I don't want to be too greedy. It has the 1-drop we're looking for. It has a removal spell that becomes live eventually and could become live much, much sooner than that. So I think it's a fine opener. See what our opponent's on here. Show me your colors. I wanna know. Cool. All right, and Seagate Banneret is actually a fine draw. Not a good draw, but it's a fine draw. Fine wine indeed. And we wait. I would like a bird off the top lid, please, if I may request. Bird off the top. The angel did win us the last game, in a sense. If the opponent hadn't killed the angel, I wouldn't have been able to kill them very quickly. So it kind of ironically worked out really, really well in that the angel absorbed their attention long enough for the bird to sneak the win, which is what you love to see. Okay. This hand is turning into another clunker, but so it goes. Get him! All right, 15. If we can get the opponent to 5, our deck has 2 Royal Eruptions. We actually have pretty good reach, all things told. That reach ain't nothing. Muffin. Ain't nothing at all. All right, another tap land, which you like to see. Okay, opponent on the expedition. Oh, Jerboa covered in hot. We got the mouse. Despite all his rage, he is still just a mouse in a cage. Woo! Somebody say what is lost can never be saved. Despite all his rage, he is still just a mouse in a cage. Jerboa! He's getting in there, ladies and gentlemen. He is getting in. No fear in the Jerboa's eyes. This is a man of no mercy. And great snuggliness. Great snuggleosity. What will the opponent do in the face of Jerboa? Weep? Call for his mother? What can man do in the face of such reckless mouse? But weep, but surrender. La 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 la. I like the gulls soaring around down here. I've read some divisive comments on this game board. I think the mountains look a little unfinished. Like, it's a little low resolution, a little Play-Doh-y. But for the most part, I think this is a really, really nice map. It's very evocative. Like, the river's really lovely, the seabirds, the high-all. The high-all. When my partner first told me that in Chinese, seagull is high-all, I heard high-gull. My tones are very bad, I apologize. But, oop. Bubbles! Bubbles! They put bubbles on my doggy. It's rude. It's rude and unusual, ladies and gentlemen. Rude and unusual punishment. But she said hi-oh, which it is. But I thought she said hi-go, which is sea dog. So I thought Chinese people called seagulls sea dogs, which I just found hilarious. Pleased me greatly. Alrighty, so we kind of get to do all the things now. So pump up the jam, and then slam. See if there are any blocks. See if they dare block the Jerboa. They do not. Now, I could put them at 4, which would be pretty sexy, but I think our position is excellent enough. We're just going to go a little bit wider. Just a little wider. Oh, counter magic. Counter magic. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Opponent, I'm not sure that's what you wanted to do. I wasn't even thinking about Jawari Disruption. This is a card I need to keep in mind in this format against blue decks. It's a very good. Is it common? It's uncommon. Okay, that's good. If this card was common, it would be infuriating. Not good, but infuriating. All right. Get him! Jump on! And we're getting in there. Get him, squad! Hop, hop. Hop, hop. What do you got, opponent? A flash 3/3? Oh, a flash. Oh, wait a minute. Wait, a flash 3/3. Am I a prophet? No, I'm just a gentleman. I'm just a gentleman and a scholar. You're not ready, opponent. Block what you dare. Block like a chump. That's right. That's right. Opponent chooses death over dishonor. He's like, I will not throw my creatures under the bus. That is Jerboa. I will take my medicine. As well they should. I love Magic. It's such a... This set is so wonderful. I love... This set is just Magic that at its best. All right. Do we sideboard into anything? I didn't see anything that makes me want to sideboard. I didn't really see much of anything. They played 3 spells, right? Played 3 spells and died. Died like a dog. Ho, ho, ho. Not died like a cat. Well, there is no expression died like a cat because cats don't die. A cat has never died. If you think it has, it fooled you. It's pulling one over on you to this day. La 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 la. La 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 la. All right, the bad man. It's a bad, bad man. What makes a good man turn bad? Waiting on the opponent. Waiting for Godot. What is the play? Opponent goes first. Shocker. It'll play. I'll do, pig. I'll do. It'll play. Oh, land. For the first time. I'm happy to see you. All right, so we get to go Vanguard, Electromancer, Machete. Whoo! Whoo! Opponent, I hope you're ready for the boppin'. The boppin', the twerkin', the workin'. Work, work. Vanguard attacks like a lady. Work, work. No blocking her blade. Say work, work. You know, this card may be less good than I expected. I played 2 matches against Boros, not Boros, but against decks playing this card. And, whoa, okay, that's a big boy. Wow, that's hard to attack over. I did not realize how hard that is to attack over. Wow. Maybe I didn't evaluate this card well enough when I first saw it. I thought this card was mediocre, but now I'm realizing, wait a minute. I'm an aggro deck. I can't attack through a 0/5. Are you kidding me? All right, what do we want to do, though? So the blade is no longer... Oh, wait, it can't block. Wait a minute. Chat, they almost bamboozled me. I was down talking my girl Goma Fada. But Goma Fada, she knows what's up. She knows who she is, what she do. She wears a scavenging blade to the prom and she goes to town. Come on now. Opponent, you trying to punk me? You think... Trying to make me think a Risen Riptide can block a warrior of the Goma Fada? Not today. Not today, opponent. Your wave has no power here. I was about to splurge. I was like, oh man, this wave! It's unstoppable. Look at it. Look at it. But no, it's actually rubbish. Against the mighty Goma Fada. Yeah, I was about to say that this card has seemed underwhelming in the literal one time I've resolved it. But just like that, it proves, nah, man. Nah, wait a minute. I'm the real deal. Oh, and its art is gorgeous. Love it. More Asian women in Magic art, please. And Asian men. Sorry, that just more people of Asia. I would appreciate. And people of black. Less white people. More people of all colors of the rainbow. All right. A little unfortunate we don't... Oh, bubble snare. Monstrous. A little unfortunate we don't hit land. So we could put the bird on the table. Bird attacks over the wave. We could also put the sword on the Electromancer. Electromancer attacks over the wave. Do we want to get 5 damage now? I think we do. I think that's reason... no, playing the bird has to be the better choice, right? If we attack, they almost certainly block here. But I think we have to resolve the bird. I think we're resolving the bird. See if opponent blocks. Yeah, we're just bluffing, but opponent does not buy it. That was a chance where they could have censored us, but they did not. Here, do we pick up the land? Doesn't matter, so nope. Not even going to pretend it matters. I guess technically... Oh, hey, Frisky Dogs. Welcome aboard. We won the last match. You missed an epic finale in which the Tazim Raptor brought it home. Ooh, Expedition Diver. Okay. Okay. I will be glad to royal that one. Now, the question here, after we play our land, is do we royal Eruption or do we Tabira Outrider? I think the Outrider might actually be the correct choice here because it develops another card onto the board and still allows our Tazim Raptor to attack through the Expedition Diver. So definitely playing the Outrider here. Gonna pump up the Raptor and send our boy in. for 4 damage. Put the opponent at 12 here, because now what happens is if we draw a land, we can go Royal Eruption, move the Machete, or move the Scavenge Blade, which is a big game. Big game, big pressure for us. So I think that turn playing the Skibir Outrider was superior to Royal Eruptioning the Diver. They also do not draw a card. It might have been worth... Oh my gosh, they have 2... They have double the wave! Frisky Dog, what do we do against so much water? Like, this is a proper tsunami the opponent is putting together. Opponent attacks. What? What? That's so brave. Okay. Opponent is a brave one. I will give them that. But we're going to hit them with the hot fire before they can draw a card. And then we get to move the Machete over to the Electromancer. And we get to hit them for 7 or eat a wave. Either one works. We fear not your water, opponent. Into the waves, Electromancer. Go. That's right, opponent. That's right. In the first game, Frisky Dogs, this opponent chose death instead of blocking some of my guys. They decided that they would prefer to keep their honor rather than their life total. So it would seem they keep to that tradition. They're like, no. I will never chump block. I will never block in vain. My waves are too precious. See what the opponent does here. You know, these waves are kind of scary in that kicked, they can hit for 10. That's not insubstantial. But the opponent isn't really in a position to use them offensively. Feed the Swarm. Bold strategy. Bold strategy. So Frisky Dog, we won our first match 2-1 in games. And now we are about to win. I think we just win. Oh, no. They've got their waves to protect them. So instead, yeah, here we get to attack, eat one of the waves. But if we win this game, we will be 2-0 in matches and going for the 3-0, which would be sweet. So we eat a wave here. We don't want to play our Angel of Destiny because they're so close to dying, which is kind of the funny thing about Angel of Destiny. So I suppose we're playing the Attended Healer. It's kind of a weird situation where none of the cards in my hand are super great, but we just need to get one attacker through. So opponent now has to play 2 more blockers or kill 2 creatures, which is pretty hard to do. Yeah, I'm doing well. Frisky Dogs. This draft has gone pretty well. In the draft part, I definitely found the right colors because red and white were very open. We got just about every red and white card we wanted, which was great. Everyone else was fighting for black, green, and blue. Sultai. But meanwhile, we are just like, nah, man, I don't need fancy blue cards. I got a Kabira Rider. I've got an Electromancer. Goma Fada. Doing work. All right, opponent with the field research. They're digging. They're desperate. And they're out of here. Badman, you have to go home. I'm sorry. Badman living up to his name. All right, 2-0. One more match for all the money. Yeah. Ding. Yeah, so now, Frisky Dogs, we're at 2 wins. So we've won some money, but we get to triple our prize if we get the 3rd match win. So we're diving right back in. Finish the stream strong. We've got to do it for the Raptors. Do it for the Canyon Jerboas in our deck that are counting on us. All right, now I want the play. Come on, give me the play. Come on, please. Oh, opponent's choosing who goes first. No. Opponent, come on, choose wrong. Choose wrong. No, opponent goes first. They knew. They weren't a fool. All right, this hand is very keepable. We got plenty of 2-drops, got our Jerboa, got our turn 1 Hellhound into a top land, which isn't great, but, you know, beggars can't be choosers. Oh, and there's another land. Oh, we're getting in there. Hellhound, come on. Hellhound is hungry for that 3-0. Hellhound wants to feed us. You know, he wants me to win that big money. Uh-oh. Skyclave Squid. No, that's not what I want to see.
So the question here is, do we protect the Hellhound by Royal Eruptioning the Squid? Maybe opponent doesn't even block. Maybe opponent is a coward. We could Sajiri Shelter the Hound to get through the Skyclave Squid. That's not an unreasonable line, and right now we don't need that much more mana. Although we do have the Jerboa, which incentivizes us to keep some land drops, but I think we'll be fine either way. Royal Eruption can kill stuff a little bit bigger than the Squid, so I think we're jamming with the Hellhound here. And if they block with the Squid, we'll use the Shelter. They didn't block with the Squid, though, which is surprising. Get him. Get him, Vanguard. Go, my father, coming to carry us home. Oh, you're gonna carry that weight. And then we're gonna get to play our Archon of Emeria here, which will be fun. We haven't gotten to play that yet. Ooh, Relic Robber. All right, well, fair play. Do I care, actually? Probably. I probably care. Do I care? So the Relic Robber would leave me with a token that deals 1 damage to me for the rest of the game. That's not a terrible problem. If I take this, I go to 15, go to 14 on my turn. I still have quite a bit of time, and the Archon of Emeria is a good blocker. I think I'm just going to take it. Is that insane? So they untap, they play something that kills the Archon of Emeria, they hit me again. Then I probably die. I think I have to block it so that I don't die if things go wrong. I think my hand is excellent. If my hand was weaker, I would take it there and try to race them. But I think my hand is really good, so I don't need to take any chances here. So we'll play this Pump the Hellhound, hit them for 2. And then we'll just play this Archon of Emeria, which is a 2/3 flyer, is going to do a pretty good job here to punish the opponent, giving him the bird screech. Field Research. You'd like to see that. Okay. Yes, opponent. Good. Good. Play cards which accomplish nothing. Oh, yeah. Attack me with the Squid, opponent. Do it. Attack me. I know you want to. Yes. Good. Good. Don't block the Hellhound. Your life total doesn't matter, man. Come on. It's not like I have a Jerboa. Woo! Jerboa getting in the house. All right. Bam. Jerboa landfall pumping the squad, and we hit him for 6, down to 10. All right. We got the Royal Eruption, too, which gives us a little finishing power here. Ooh, opponent on the Falconer. So Falconer is trouble here. If we pump the squad... Oh, wait. So, wait a minute. Tricky play here. We can go Raptor, pick up a land, play the Sajiri Shelter. Now we're doing science. All right. Play the Sajiri Shelter, pump up the squad, all right? Send the squad, and then we have the... Oh, no. I have the Archon of Emeria. Oh, no. I can't cast 2 spells in 1 turn. Oh, no. Oh, what have I done? Oh, what a heinous gaffe. Oh, no, I was so excited at how clever it was that I didn't fully think through the ramifications there. Now, I could have finished this off with the Royal Eruption, but I think instead my goal is to get them low enough to kill them with the Royal Eruptions. It's probably my strategy here. We'll see what the opponent has. Roost of Drakes. Okay. What does this do? They get a 2/2 flyer. Okay. And if they kick more spells, then they get more flyers. That's a bit of a problem, but we'll see. All right. So the question is, how do we kill them here? If I Sajiri Shelter... If I attack... I can Sajiri Shelter to put them at 5. But then we're still a couple mana away from killing them with the Royal Eruption, which is quite unfortunate. I think instead what we have to do is we can Royal Erupt... So we could put them at 3. That's not good enough, though. 3 is not dead. I think we have to play another Hellhound, and we have to pray... Oh, I forget if they scryed cards to the top. We're so close, but I think we're going to be a little short because of my mistake. That was a really, really big mistake I made, not remembering that the Archon only lets me play 1 card a turn. Ended up costing us everything. Yeah, I think we're supposed to pass. Try to get a better attack next turn. I think that's about all we can do here. There's also the danger that the opponent has the kicker spell, like the shell card, that is 1 blue, and then you can kick it for 1 colorless, which could make them another Drake, which would be a big problem. I don't know. That would basically be spending 2 mana to make a 2/2. That's not heinously bad for me. It is heinously bad if they use that card to kill one of my guys, though. Yeah, we really need an awesome card off the top. Like, I don't know exactly what I want here. Maybe a Machete would be pretty awesome, because Machete lets all my creatures start attacking into them, which is pretty hot. Yeah, opponent is definitely thinking about playing that kicker card, but they decide not to. So we definitely can put that card in their hand. They drew a land, which is good. Oh, the kicker mage is a big problem here. Yipes. All right, well, shucks. I'll be a monkey's uncle. All right, they just use it to get back the field research, which isn't as bad as it could be, right? And right now, opponent's not putting any pressure on us. Oh, not that they need to. All right, well, Angel of Destiny is certainly a card. Angel of Destiny is pretty nice. I guess now we have to play this Sajiri Shelter so we can play the Angel next turn. So we play the Shelter, we pump up the squad. Are we using Royal? All right, well, let's... Oh, no. This one, okay. So we play this. The dogs get angry. The dogs go, is that a land? This is my land. And so they become 2/3s. Now, we can send the squad. And if they go to 3, they die? Okay. So the question is, do they chump block both hounds? Chump block both? Chump block 1? What's the call? I would like them to not chump block either. Okay. All right, fair enough. I think we have to Royal Eruption the Falconer here. I don't think we have a choice, which is really unfortunate. But we have to get it off the table. And then we have to pray that this Angel is good enough to win the game here. Umara Mystic is a pretty sexy card. Ooh, opponent not casting Field Research is very suspicious. Well, I suppose they're going to eat one of my Hellhounds here, which will make me sad. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player. But I didn't come here to not attack people with Hellhounds, so I suppose we're getting in there one way or the other. If the opponent has a kicked spell here, so be it. Into the Royal. Yep, that'll do it. Uh-oh do. Uh-oh do. We're in a pretty terrible plot spot now. I don't know how we ever actually attack the opponent here. But we're going to do our darndest. If the opponent doesn't read Angel of Destiny here, I'm going to be super impressed. They just know it well enough that they don't have to read. All right, there's the kicked Field Research. So they're going to get another Drake, draw 3 cards, you know, just keep putting us in the grave. Yeah, opponent's deck seems super awesome. I think we're screwed, if I'm being honest. So now the question is to attack or not to attack. I think we can't attack, right? Like, attacking is just so suicidal. So we just have to wait. We got nothing going on. It might be good to just surrender this game. It might be unwinnable here. I don't know exactly how we could come back. If they remove my Angel, I will surrender. Yep. That is a 5/3. That is a 5/3. All right, Expedition Healer. Ho, ho, ho. Not what the doctor ordered. All right. Show me your moves. What are the odds they run out of cards? Pretty low. I imagine in these 18 cards, so what, they've got 8 lands there, 0 lands here. So they probably have another 9 lands in their deck. So they have these 4, so they have 13 cards that could kill my Angel. One of them probably does. One of them does. But they have to prove it. Yep, that'll do. That'll do. Goodbye. Yeah, opponent's deck is much better than ours. Opponent's deck is super sweet. How do we beat it, though? So I think we need the Disenchant to kill the Drake Haven. So Disenchant is finally coming in. Smite the Monstrous might be good against their birds. But it's pretty tough, right? It's pretty tough. I still disagreed with how the opponent played the early game. I think it was really, really silly of the opponent, and even sillier knowing how good their deck is. It was really silly of them to attack with the squid. They took 5 or 6 more damage than they should have. And so if they hadn't drawn extremely well, like they drew the perfect balance of cards, then they would have died because of their squid mistake. But they did not. Their deck is very good. Maybe the Kite Sail doesn't help us here. I think we go Expedition Champion over the Raptor. No, over the Archon. We have not drawn Allied Assault one time, which is pretty wild. Yeah, over the Archon for sure. And then we also have to get rid of another card, so we probably get rid of... We also have never used this Luminarch Aspirant, which is a damn shame. Probably Banneret. We're on the play, actually. Oh, Spikefield Hazard is pretty bad here. We can do that. All right, opponent, let's do it. Let's do it. Game 2 on the play. It's going to be really tough, though, because even if we win this game, we then have to go Game 3 on the draw, which we are not favored in. But this is limited. Anything can happen. This hand is quite bad. Oh, we don't have a play in the first 2 turns. That's pretty awful. It does have 4 lands, though, and it has the Legion Angel, which is good, Shepherd of Heroes, which is mediocre. This hand is probably a mulligan. It's just too slow. Well, we finally got our Luminarch Aspirant for the first time. It finally showed up to school. It's like, I'm sorry, guys. You know, I was smoking out behind the bayou. All right. We never need 2 mountains, but we sometimes need 2 white, I think. I think that's the rule of our deck. Alrighty, opponent. Let's do it. Show me your moves. In theory, we should be decent against the opponent's deck because they have some slow, heavy kicker cards that are extremely powerful in the late game. But on the play, we should be able to run them down if our deck doesn't draw too awkwardly. All right, Luminarch Aspirant, go. Aspire, my friend, aspire. Excellent card. First time I played at this draft, but it was my first pick of the draft, and it's a pretty potent cleric. The first pick of the draft was between this and the blue card, actually, that hypnotizes, that steals an opponent's creature. Would have been interesting to see our deck with that guy instead. Alrighty. This kind of sucks, but sure. This card is gorgeous. I think this card has my favorite art of the entire set. It's just absolutely beautiful. Oh, I just love this art so much. Chef's kiss, right? Like, just beyond beautiful. All right. Opponent skydiving, living it up in the city. All right. We have a Luminarch Aspirant. That's all we got. Luminarch Aspirant and a dream. And a dream. Yep. Job well done, opponent. Job well done. Draw your last pathetic card. Our hand is very white. Legend has it we are playing red cards in our deck, but you wouldn't know. You would not know from this. Alrighty. Roost of Drakes. Yup. You know, maybe opponent just never answers our, goodbye. See ya. Maybe opponent just never kills our Luminarch Aspirant and we just slowly beat them to death with an enormous Cleric. Maybe that's what happens this game. I wouldn't complain. All right, 5-5. Luminarch Aspirant single-handedly walking this one in. Just like slowly but surely. Giving them the business. Giving them the business. Business hours are open, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe next turn we just attack for the win with Allied Assault. It's a possibility. They can't kill the Luminarch Aspirant with their burn spell here, which is delightful. I would like to see them try. The worst things they could have at this point are bounce spells, right? Like if they had the Into the Royal to kick it and put my Aspirant back in my hand, that would be pretty devastating. So then they could kill it on the way back down. Cleric of Chill Depths. Okay. Cleric of Chill Depths definitely walls my Aspirant for a turn, which is pretty savage. Alrighty, so this turn, what are we doing? They're definitely blocking the Luminarch Aspirant with the Cleric of Chill Depths. So the question then becomes, they have 3 mana up. I think we want to play Kabira Outrider over. So Kabira Outrider makes this a 5-4, which pretty easily chonks through their board. I think that's the play over the Allied Assault. Allied Assault doesn't accomplish too much here. So we pump up our lads. I think here we want to try and get the Kabira Outrider out of burn range. So we just put the counter on it. And then we send the squad. Because if the opponent taps out next turn to play their burn spell, it does not save them. Nothing will save you now, opponent. Nothing will save you now. Interesting by the opponent here. Going for the triple block and taking 6. That is not what I expected. Sure. I suppose that's a deal. Opponent on 2 means they are now dead to a lot of the cards in our deck right when we draw them. Like, we got the 2 Royals, so we have 2 cards in our deck that just immediately murder them. All right. All right, opponent. Opponent, where are your gods now? Goblin getting in. Woo! Relic Robber. But we're not celebrating yet because that's just winning a game. Right now we go to game 3 on the draw. Oh, you hate to be an aggro deck game 3 on the draw. That's not where you want to find yourself. Okay. Okay. Maybe knowing they have the merfolk that steals artifacts, I should swap out my machete, but I think that interaction is so niche that it's not really a consideration. Not really. It would be the consideration for someone that was playing all the numbers, playing mind games, but I'm not that man. Oh, no! Not like this. Oh, is this the hand that baits me into losing? Because I'm keeping this hand. Ah, shucks. Rubber ducks. Ay, swallow. I think this is the hill we die on. Shall we ride for death and glory? All right. Give me another land. Oh, no, it's a hellhound. Well, I guess this is the hand to have 2 hellhounds, right? Oh, give me a Jerboa, please, if I may request cards off the top. Jerboa would make me a... Oh, you bastard. That's so cruel. That's just cruel and unusual. You can't do that to me. Come on. Come on, don't play a 1/3 into my 2 hellhounds. Skyclave Squid, yuck. Absolute yuck. No! No, this is how we flood and die. This is the hill I die on. I wasn't wrong. Hoy, walala. Maybe I was supposed to mulligan that hand. I'm like 65% to draw spells each turn.
I don't know. I don't know, man. It's pretty close. It's pretty close. Maybe the opponent's hand sucks too, but it's not very likely. Do we just attack into the stupid squid? I guess we do, right? We didn't... Something, we didn't come here to be cowards? I don't know. Yeah, opponent definitely just gonna eat my Vanguard with their squid. Because we've got very little going on. Like, even if we draw the Canyon Jerboa at this point, which is probably the best card we could draw, it's not great, because we need to draw a great card, like, every single turn now. All right, Jerboa, come out. My Jerboa. That's a raptor. Not quite good enough. Not quite good enough, Chief. Ugh. That one ain't gonna do it. Oh, we ain't gonna learn today. Yeah, this last game was a bit of a bummer. Bit of a non-game. Like, again, maybe the opponent's hand is terrible. Oh, there's the Rooster Drakes, though. So now we are exceptionally dead if... Magic. We had some great games at Magic. This is not one of them. Behold my lands, my great tracts of land. You'll never see land of such a high caliber elsewhere, believe me. Believe me this. I think here we just attack all. It doesn't really matter. At this point, pretty much our only advantage is that the opponent probably thinks we have stuff in hand, so they might play around things because our hand is so massive, but in all likelihood, they just know we flooded to our deaths. To our demise. Yeah, now they start attacking back, so this is when you know it's over. It's all over but the crying. It's all over but the crying. Man, so now all three drafts so far, I've gone 2-1 in match score. That's a damn shame. I keep flooding out and dying in the third match. Or the first match in the case of one of them. But it's a damn shame. Maybe I was too greedy on the keep. Maybe I was too greedy on that keep. Maybe I was supposed to not keep a 4-land hand. I just felt like... Oh no, it was a 5-land hand. It was a 5-land hand. Oh, but I only have 14 lands in my deck! That's the issue! I had 14! So with 5 in my starting hand, I have 9 left in the deck. I'm 73% to draw spells. Yes, Allah. No, I think I was correct. I don't think I was wrong to keep. We just hit, what are we? What are we here? So let me do, so let's do point. So we're doing 1 minus the odds of the thing we want, right? So 1 minus 0.7. Yeah, so 33% of the time. And so we hit the 30% of the time. How many times in a row? Like 5 and 6. Ooh, we are the 0.25%. See, this is the real strategy. What you got to do, Frisky Dog, is when all else fails, when you're feeling salty, when you just draw on all lands, you do the math to see how unlucky you are, right? Because math won't lie to you. Math might tell you, no, you are fine. But no, we are the 0.2%. In terms of drawing this many lands and this many draws in this particular deck. So, what a world we live in. What a world. Yeah, sure. Yeah. At this point, I'm just playing to show the opponent my lands. To say to them, behold. I only have 5 more lands in my deck. Like, may as well draw them, right? May as well just have everyone show up to the party. When it rains, it pours. Yup. You got it, opponent. I got a whole lot of nothing. See ya. And we die. And we die. Yeah, so I think in the end, my takeaway from this draft is that Hellhound is a terrible card. I think it was bad in every game we played it. Like, it did a lot of damage in a lot of games, but if the opponent had, like, an even slightly reasonable draw, it was super terrible. So yeah, I think my takeaways from this draft is this card is very bad. Like, it's probably a C- or a D+. I found it extremely underwhelming. I drafted it really highly because it's good in Constructed. It's a pretty good card to play in competitive Constructed, but no, in Limited it seemed limiting. I think you would have to be playing Gruul, where you could get more than one landfall per turn for this to be a reasonable card. I think in Boros this is almost unplayable. Almost quite mediocre. And it's not a party type, which is very bad. Practice Tactics was fine. It was mediocre and bad. But that's kind of what I thought of it anyway. Seagate Banneret was so-so. This card I never got to play. Expedition Healer was fine. I think most other things were fine. This card is absurd. Luminarch Aspirant's really, really good. The Vanguard was fine. It was a fine card. I think there are decks where it would be better than it was in mine, but it was fine. Royal Eruption is obscene. It's really, really awesome. Scavenge Blade was good. Was a very solid card through the whole run. Jerboa was broken. Jerboa, I was super happy every single time I drew it, which means this card is even better than I thought. I think this card, at one point I took a Vanguard over a Jerboa. I think that was a huge mistake. I think Vanguard is much worse than the Jerboa after this experiment. And so in the future, I would draft Jerboa pretty highly. This card was great. And it would be even better in a green deck where you could get, again, multiple landfall triggers per turn. The Raptor was fine. Raptor was decent. I think I pegged this one right as like a C-level card, mediocre, but fine. Ardent Electromancer was pretty good. Pretty good the time I played it, so that was fine. Relic Robber was hilarious. I only got to cast it like twice, so don't really have too much data there. It was mostly hilarious, which was good. Archon of Emeria was very bad. This is the second time I've drafted it, and it's the second time it cost me a game. I probably shouldn't have lost the first game of that third match. That one was 1,000% on me. Like, I royally screwed that one up when I didn't read my own Archon of Emeria and thought I could cast more than one spell per turn. So that was heinously bad on my part, cost me the game, and I will not be drafting this card again. I think this card is virtually unplayable in the sense that it screws you very often because you more often want to cast 2 spells during your turn than your opponent wants to cast 2 spells during your turn or 2 spells on theirs, right? Like, if you're playing an aggressive deck that wants to leverage a flying 2/3, well, more often than not, you would be the one who's usually casting 2 lower costed cards as opposed to 1 higher costed card per your turn, enemy turn. So I think Archon of Emeria is unplayable. I think my drafting it was a mistake both times, and both drafts it really hurt me. So try not to be too results oriented in my thinking, but this card was definitely dubious to start with and has proven pretty poor. Allied Assault, up to 2 target creatures each get +X/+X. We never got to play this card. We never drew it. When it was relevant, the one time we drew it, we won the game anyway without ever having to cast it. So I think this is probably still a pretty decent card, but it remains a bit of a mystery. We never really got to play with it. Attended Healer was fine, kind of mediocre. I'm not the life gain deck, so this isn't going to be the best card for me. It was just a 2/3 in every single game we played it. I would draft it. I mean, I think we wheeled this like 12th pick, which was absurd, which is why we ended up with it. But I think it's worse than the Lagak. I think my deck should have looked like this. It was just strictly worse than the Lagak every time we played it, and worse than the Felidar. So that was a mistake on my part. I got too excited about the prospect of getting a free 1/1 and didn't realize the more reasonable cards were waiting in my sideboard. Kabir Outrider was fine. Kabir Outrider continues to be a little bit better than I think it will be. +2/+2 is not bad in an aggressive deck. This card is very poor in a more mid-range control deck, but in Boros, I think this card continues to perform. Never got to cast Legion Angel, never drew it. Damn shame. Angel of Destiny was terrible. I think this card was hilarious insofar as some decks just can't kill it, but it also can basically never attack. Like, you don't want it in an aggressive deck. I think this card is terrible in an aggressive aggro Boros deck because you get your opponent low and then you play this and you start healing them. in the hopes of winning via this ridiculous alternative win con. But I think if you're playing a control deck, basically any color combination besides Boros, this card is phenomenal because a lot of decks just can't kill it, and it holds down the sky and ground indefinitely, which is really nice. Shepherd of Heroes, I never got to play it, never drew it, never played it. So, woe is me. Woe is me. I think this card would have been mediocre had I drawn it most of the time. I knew that going in, but I was in for the 3-4, and I allowed myself to be seduced by Angel of Destiny's promise of a ridiculous alternative win con on stream. But it did not come together by any stretch. Other than that, I think the number of lands I played ended up being correct. Oh, I played 15 lands. Okay, 15 lands. Sorry, it totally makes sense that I drew 11, 10 or 11 in my top 14 that last game. But salt aside, I think my land base was correct here. 15 untapped lands and then 16, 17, including the tapped lands. So with that is my assessment of this draft. Are there any cards in my sideboard that are worth commenting on? Disenchant was fine, but bad against the Drake card because obviously they got the Drake out of it. So you're really kind of getting 2 for 1. Although you got to take the Drake Haven off the board. Drake Haven seems like a really busted card. Never cited in the Cliffhaven Kitesail. I think this card is probably bad. That's probably why it's a common. If it was really good, Wizards would have made it an uncommon in the draft. So I think this card is actually just bad. I took it again really late because it was free. But this warrior seems pretty mediocre. I really don't like this warrior. There's too much quality removal, too many good tricks. It just seems like a 4-3 with no additional abilities isn't that interesting. And it's really a 2-3, right, most of the time. Don't regret not playing this as my 2-drop. Probably never would have made a big difference. It never would have been better than the other 2-drops we were playing, other than perhaps the Expedition Healer. Felidar would have been an interesting thought experiment. I think, again, that Felidar would not have been good enough to win us any games that we didn't win if I'd played it in lieu of a different play on turn 4. I think it's still pretty mediocre outside of green decks. And that is that. So there you have it. There is a complete draft. I guess we'll take a look at our rewards in the meantime. Another 2-1, another heartbreaker here as we get a little bit of money, get some packs. But that's just about it. That's what we walk away with. Our Spoils of War 5 Zendikar packs. So I'd like to thank Frisky Dogs 12 for tuning in tonight. Appreciate it, man. And I hope this draft was helpful to anyone who watches it in the future. I hope you learned a little bit. I hope you had a lot of fun with me. We had a couple really, really beautiful moments in there. The soaring hawk bringing us to victory, and then just some classic beats, and then some bad beats down the stretch. Kind of a non-game to cap things off. But maybe there's some satisfaction in seeing me simmer too. I don't know. Regardless, have a wonderful day, everybody. Take care of yourselves. I'm Saoirse. It's been a pleasure sharing this draft with you. So, arrivederci, everybody. Take care. Ba-ba-ba-ba.